Bom dia a todos. Hoje estamos aqui com o Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche para lançar a segunda edição do seu livro Alegria de Viver, publicado pela Luz da Letra. Para contar um pouco do Mingyur Rinpoche, ele é um dos grandes mestres budistas da atualidade, autor de vários livros sobre a meditação e também um dos grandes proponentes de trazer a sabedoria milenar da meditação no budismo tibetano para o nosso mundo secular, e com muito humor e muita simplicidade. Ele também é o fundador do Tergar Meditation Community, comunidade de meditação que é bem ativa aqui no Brasil. Depois dessa palestra, convido a todos que visitem o nosso site. O livro Alegria de Viver, que é o tema de hoje, é um best-seller nos Estados Unidos e já foi traduzido para mais de 20 línguas. E nós temos o privilégio de ter o Mingyur Rinpoche aqui conosco hoje para falar sobre a meditação e também sobre o seu livro. O formato da conversa de hoje que o Mingyur Rinpoche vai explicar um pouquinho e teremos aí em seguida perguntas que já foram enviadas para nós previamente, em que o Mingyur Rinpoche irá responder. Temos também a possibilidade de mandar outras perguntas via o chat, aí no YouTube, e estaremos selecionando algumas para fazê-las durante este nosso encontro. So Rinpoche, welcome. Very, very happy to have you here for the second edition of the launch of the Joy of Living book here in Brazil. And I think it's a super opportune time to be speaking about your book because, as you know, we are here in Brazil almost 15 months suffering from the pandemic. And I think a lot of people have many issues, much suffering, issues with mental health, with afflictive emotions. And I think for your book, you speak about this at great length and about meditation. So I think the idea today, if you could share some of your thoughts and messages about the book for our general audience here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Yaping. So, and thank you very much for Tergar Brasil, who helped this event. And I'm very happy about the Joy of Living book republished in Brazil. So this book is about my personal journey. And I wrote my life story. So I had the panic attacks when I was young. So now we have the global pandemic. I think many people are affected by anxiety, or some of you might have panic or depression. Some of you might have problem, problem in your family members. Although in a way we all are affected. So how I come out from my own panic. So for me, I learned these wonderful meditation techniques, which is I describe in the book. There's a systematically step-by-step practice. When we practice this systematically step-by-step practice, then we really can what I call making friends with the panic. So you don't need to fight with the panic. You cannot fight. Actually, if you try to fight, panic becomes bigger, stronger. So that is what we call fuel to the fire. So if you add petrol to the fire becomes bigger. So the aversion, the resistance, try to fight with that, is become stronger. So when I was young, I had panic. So one of the main problem for me is panic, fear of panic. So we need to learn how to let go of that. We cannot let go of that just thinking that I have to let go. That doesn't help much. So sometimes what I call pizza meditation. So you can try for 1 minute, don't think about pizza. What happened? You will think about pizza more than normal. When you say no pizza, then you think about pizza more. So that is our normal mind, what I call crazy monkey mind. And I came to Brazil many times. I know how to say it in your language, macaco loco. So macaco loco, the crazy monkey mind. So crazy monkey mind does the opposite. So how we can let go of that, how we can free of that. And this is just like learning skill, new skill. When you try to study, learn new skill, you can learn, isn't it? And then you can apply that skill in your life. So same thing here, the meditation is kind of like skill that we can learn with our own mind to transform our mind. And at the same time, it will transform our own experiences, perception, and it helps our life also, not just life, also physical body. So my book is, even though I published 2008 in the America, and then it came to Brazil later, and it's now more than 20 different languages. Although it's quite old, but there's a lot of scientific research there, even then, how mind affect to the body. I was become like research subject, what they call long-term meditator, research about the long-term meditator's brain. So I'm one of them, one of the early one. I participated in 2002. So what the scientists discover is the meditation really helps to change our brain, what they call neuroplasticity, meaning our brain has capable of change. So there's a lot of these are here in the book. And then there's a neural pathway that more recent discovered neural pathways, and recently scientific discovered neurogenesis, meaning neural pathway, meaning you will have new connection in the brain. And even neurogenesis, meaning even gene expression gene in the brain will change. So that means we all have hope. So 20 some years before, scientists said, if you're born with panic, anxious, unhappy, whatever, then the rest of your life, you will be unhappy. But now they say, no, change. Our brain is always changing. Brain has capable of change. But how our brain changing normally is through by force of environment from outside, force by situation, force by social. So all these are changing our brain, may not be the way you want to change. So a lot of them are changing what we call unwantedly. We have no control over it. We don't have control. But then what scientists discovered through meditation, you can control, you can change your own brain. So when we change our own brain through the meditation, through the awareness, then we become more happy. And that change is not only our mind become happy, also good for physical body. So there's some research data about how meditation helps to more healthy body also in the book. And also it will change our life. So happy mind, healthy body, of course, good for life. And that also can affect our relationship and our job. So we are become more, in a way, become more productive. We can see the situation more clear. So right now, everywhere we are facing this pandemic. So through this moment, I think it's very important that we should kind of like change our focus. Normally, our mind is focus out, always chasing to the materiality, always chasing for the environment, always chasing out there, social, all this out there. But now, very important, we have to turn inward, and we can transform during this moment, during this time. So sometimes even we want to have big holidays, time for ourselves, it's not so easy, isn't it? Now we all are have to be, in a way, the travel restrictions and a lot of things are there. Of course, we are not denying the pandemic. So whatever the effect, whatever suffering, whatever obstacle is real. So we accept it. But at the same time, don't give up. We can use this situation to grow ourselves, transform ourselves, to learn ourselves. So we can maybe learn the life skill, very important life skill through the meditation practice. So all this practice I mentioned in the books, in this book, Joy of Living. And Joy of Living in Portuguese is Alegria de Viver. So that's I remember about the title. So, for example, now I'm in Nepal and almost more than 1 year cannot go anywhere. But what I did is I practiced these meditation techniques for myself. So it's really helping me. I may not have this such wonderful time if I don't have this meditation practice. So there's a lot of discovery within myself. I'm learning every day something new, something aha. And not only that, I'm also doing study. I'm looking for ancient, what we call 5 main books about the mind and the matter, how it works, and books about the what we call wisdom, Prancha Paramita, and books about the ethic, and books about the logic, how we can use our own logic and to apply. And the last is books about the go beyond the concept. So we have those books, and I studied this when I was young, about 9 years. I graduated 2000, and since then I didn't look for 20 years. I didn't look. Now I'm looking back those books, and I learned a lot. And in fact, what happened is me and some colleague here, we discuss about the essence of these books and make it relevant to the modern life, modern mentality. So I hope in the future, great might benefit coming from this book. So we already start one, already finished. Now we are in the second important books. Maybe in the future I can share this and write book again in the future. So this great thing happened, and at the same time, me and my mom, we make farm, grow a lot of vegetables, fruit here. I did some exercise time to time. So this journey is wonderful for me. So you can do that at the same thing. You can make it your own plan, your own journey, your own experiments. So don't give up, but accept it, letting go. But letting go is not giving up. And how to take this inner journey. So now this book can be your own teacher, and you can learn this step by step, all this practice. So in the book, what I mentioned is the 3 things: awareness, love and compassion, and wisdom. So these 3 things are with us all the time. So we all have awareness, love and compassion, and wisdom. And this is our innate quality. So sometimes what we call the basic innate goodness, our fundamental nature, our true nature, but we are not discovered that. So what we think is, oh, not everybody has love and compassion and wisdom and awareness. I have a lot of problem. I have suffering. I have a lot of destructive emotions. How come he has that? She has that? So that is the in the traditional example is, if there's a treasure gem, I wrote this in the book, treasure gem in our home, but the owner of that home doesn't recognize that. Maybe could be diamonds, let's say 3 kilos of diamond everywhere in the room, and you don't know that is a diamond. You thought that is the piece of stone. So then what we will do? We think these are useless, right? So we have a lot of problem. We have hunger. We have not good house. We have physical condition. House is broken. Look like very poor. But actually, you have your owner of that 3 kilo of big diamonds. You're a millionaire. But the problem is we are not recognized that. So therefore, the diamond become equal to a piece of stone. So although we have wonderful quality within ourselves, so we have to really discover that, to discover the diamond. So once you discover the diamond, then look like you'll become rich. But actually, you are not richer than before. You're already wonderful. So this is a traditional example. And now modern science also saying that if we have 10 qualities within us, 1 negative, 9 positive. Normally what we see is 1 negative one and exaggerate. We ignore 9 good qualities within us. So although now we have pandemic, a lot of problems there, but still we can do so many good things. We can learn things, we can grow things, we can discover things. So many things of what we can do, but what happens normally, we just give it up. We're just thinking that our normal, ordinary way, it doesn't function, because normally we have certain way, look for job, look for study, look for our normal pattern. When this pattern is gone, then we don't know. So when I was young, my father said, if you are going somewhere and then the road is blocked by huge wall in front of you, what you can do, first take out your backpack and throw the other side of the wall. Once your backpack is other side of the wall, now you need to cross the wall. You cannot cross this way. Maybe it's impossible, but there is which and ways you can cross the wall. So this is really important. So hopefully, as I mentioned in the book, I transform my panic as support for my friend, my teacher. Maybe today I'm giving this meditation teachings and wrote this book because of the panic. If not panic, maybe I never wrote the book. Maybe I will not give this wonderful meditation teachings. And this wonderful meditation teachings, the lineage is 2,500 years of ancient experiential lineage. And that really helps me. And I hope you can help this through the book. Thank you.
Good evening, Rinpoche. Here in Brazil is the morning, and you're already in the evening. Yes. There. Thank you very much for participating and open your time to celebrate with us this new Joy of Living edition in Portuguese. And here are some questions that people sent for you in advance. Rinpoche, your teachings on compassion changed my practice completely, especially this approach of seeing the essence of all the painful emotions as love and compassion already. Could you please give us a little bit of this instruction now?
Yes. So in my book, I mentioned about our fundamental quality, our true nature. So we all have wonderful nature. As I mentioned before, we all have awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. So like this diamond, we haven't discovered yet. Otherwise, these are there with us all the time. So awareness with us all the time. At the same time, love and compassion also with us all the time. So the essence of love is looking for happiness, nice, wonderful, meaningful. Something is good. And that looking for you, looking for others. And essence of compassion is wanting to free from problem, suffering, obstacles, misery, something bad, meaningless. So this feeling is with us all the time. And these two feelings are the fundamental kind of like feelings, fundamental motivations of whatever we do in our life. Right now, you come here because of this motivation, this feeling. Do you want to have happiness? How many of you want to be happy? Raise your hand. When you watch this video, if you are looking for happiness, raise your hand. I hope you raise hand. Of course, right? Why you come here to look this video looking for something good, something happiness, something nice, something meaningful. And while you're watching now, every movement of your body is looking for happiness. Maybe some of you watching this, if you watch this too long, become suffering, uncomfortable. Oh, better now like this, or now like that, or like this. Each movement is looking for happiness. Each eyes blink, also looking for happiness. If you don't blink your eyes, then it will become cause of suffering. So happiness, each breath. So actually, all these are infused by love and compassion, but we don't know that. We are not recognized. The fundamental, the love and compassion exists there in every part of our mind, every part of the sensation in our body, and every movement of our body. We don't know that. So we need to recognize, reconnect with that, we nurture that, to be aware of that, then we will discover this innate love and compassion become more salient, more obvious, more strong. Then we can feel it. Before we don't feel it. Now we can feel it. Then we can expand to others, all beings. So this is how we can discover the treasure within ourselves.
So the next question is, Dear Rinpoche, both in Joy of Living 1 and in the Nectar of the Path, we have instructions regarding the gap that appears during practice. This gap seems to occur between breaths in practice of using breath as support in the just being of Joy of Living 1, and also in the practice of nature of mind in the Nectar of the Path. What is this gap in the context of vertical and horizontal liberations, and what advice could you, Rinpoche, give the meditator to search for this gap in a non-contrived way?
Don't look for this gap. So this is very important. So gap comes automatically to you. Okay, no gap, doesn't matter. So for the good meditator, no need to rely on the gap. So the gap meaning here is there is space between the thought. So thought or concept or whatever our pattern of everyday life so tight like machine. This after this, this after this, this after this. I want to have coffee. Then after that, I want to do some relax. Now I have to do job. Then another list. All this. So when there's a gap, when there's space between this thought, there's some openness, some relaxation. That's good. But the real freedom, real liberation is already exists within ourselves. So the awareness. So normally what we call awareness is like sky, and thought emotion is like cloud. So the cloud cannot change the nature of sky. So gap meaning sometimes no cloud. Sky empty, that's the gap. Sometimes cloud comes, no gap. But whether there's a cloud or no cloud, sky is always present. Sky is always pure. So important is don't look for the gap. When the gap comes automatically, okay. So no gap, also okay. The main important is connected with awareness. So the person who asked this question already practiced joy living. So based on the book, I make course, joy living course. So there are 1, 2, 3. Level 1 is about awareness. Level 2 is about love and compassion. Level 3 is about the wisdom. And then more deeper into nature of this, nature of awareness, love and compassion and wisdom. So we have path of liberation. So these are the course. We have the meditation center in Brazil, and this meditation community, the curriculum, the practice, the step-by-step practice. So when you finish all this practice, you have sense of what is the treasure there within yourself.
Dear Rinpoche, I find it very difficult to practice in a sleepy state, tired. I try to remain conscious during sleepiness, but there comes a time when I just start to sleep. Recognizing that I was sleeping, I try to recover consciousness, and that becomes a cycle that alternates between a nap and meditation. What can we do to practice meditation with a tired mind?
So if there's very strong like that, another option is from the behavioral level. That means you stand up. You get up from your meditation cushion and walk, what we call walking meditation. So even you can do formal meditation. Formal meditation meaning let go of all other work, fully dedicate for the meditation. So there's a formal meditation. So you can do that with the walking. So then after a certain level, the sleepiness become less and less heavier, less and heavy. So you can try this. And then another thing is from the mental level, try to practice more like analytical meditation. Try to analyze. So when mind movement comes, then you become more light. When the mind more relaxes, then sleepiness comes.
Dear Rinpoche, considering the interest of Tibetan Buddhism to dialogue with Western science and knowledge, don't you think it would be interesting to have the same dialogue and exchange with other secular and even millennial traditions of knowledge, such as Amerindians and Africans?
Yeah, Dalai Lama tried to do a lot of this dialogues between different faiths, different tradition. So this is one of the dialogue between science and Buddhism. Is one of his main commitment, and the second is different lineage and different faith dialogue. So did that, and I do some time to time with different cities. Sometimes go and do this dialogue also in the past.
Dear Rinpoche, how do I know that I'm resting in nature of mind, or if I'm just resting in open awareness?
Oh, I think you missed the sound, right? So there's a particular practice, this the deeper level of practice called nature mind. And the person asks question, how do I know I'm in the nature mind? So the important is the special sign, which is you can hear a sound. The sound is ding dong. No, I'm just kidding. So there is no particular sign. You have to use your own wisdom. But don't worry about that. You are recognized nature of mind or not. It doesn't matter. The important is you know intellectually what is nature mind. First, you have to know. And second, for practice meditation level, don't get lost. As long as if you connect with awareness, not get lost, being present. Don't worry, nature mind, or just beginning level of meditation, or middle, advanced, doesn't matter. Shamatha, Vipassana, doesn't matter. As long as if you are not become zombie for the meditation level, okay. So eventually the view, intellectual understanding of nature mind, and the meditation now what you're applying, not get lost, just being, it will merge together.
Thank you, Rinpoche. The next one, dear Rinpoche, how can meditation help with addictions?
So addiction, when we go to the internal level, so what we call 5 skandhas, five aggregates. So first is the matter meaning the something come from the particle. So the body, and body has eyes, ear, nose, tongue, sensation, and normally these look for something pleasant. So maybe you addict something through the eyes, or through the sound, through the smell, through the taste. So nowadays a lot of people addict through the drinks, substance use, because you might have pleasant sensation in the body by doing that, or taste is quite good. And then if we do the repeat again, then we will have the pattern, the habitual pattern. So the first, the matter connected, the object, the organs, 5 sense organs, and the mind, when they're connected, then it has sensation, pleasant sensation, unpleasant sensation. Normally we assume unpleasant sensation. So looking for something happy. Everybody look for happiness, right? We all look for happiness, pleasant sensation, happiness, nice. And normally those sensations comes in the body. So that's the feeling, second skandha, feeling. And then craving, look for that feeling, recognize and label it by the third, conceptual aggregates, number 3. Then it will become again, habit again, and become unconscious. The number 4, volition. Sometimes what we call volition, or the what we call mental formation. Forming something, habit formation. Then is slip in the consciousness. Last is consciousness. Stay in the stream of consciousness. and it will come back again. So we need to cut this link. So first, the matter you contact through the outer circumstances. Then feeling comes. Drink, craving for drinking or smoking. So in that moment, when you feel this craving, what we have to do, bring awareness on that physical sensation. Awareness of whatever pleasant sensation, or looking for pleasant sensation, try to avoid unpleasant sensation. The craving comes. What's that craving? And when you just be with that craving, then craving normally loses power. It might be still there, or for some people, become a gap. When you look for craving, cannot find it. Soon as gone, craving come back. Or some people look at the craving may not lost, but craving has a lot of pieces. Sensation, image, conversation, belief meaning, oh, small is good, I really want. And another belief, small is no good, also. There's two beliefs there. All this become pieces. So look at the pieces. Then this power of the addiction become less. So this is through the meditation level. And the second, from the behavioral level, you have to try to avoid that. Maybe first just say 3 days and 1 week and 1 month. So if you can cut 1 month, then you already begin new habit. So if possible, you can go someplace where you cannot find those substance, whatever. But just in case if you really worry, bring 1 or 2 here. In case if I will do that, I will use that. Otherwise, try to go to a different environment, different situation. So then can come out from these two together can come out from addiction.
Yeah, thank you, Rinpoche. There's this one that just came through the chat in YouTube. You talked about meditation and neuroplasticity. Are there guidelines for practitioners who have mental problems such as schizophrenia and bipolar disorder?
We don't have particular one practice special for schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. But for example, like breathing meditation, the scientists did a lot of research about that. That's good for schizophrenia and so on like that. Then those practice. But I think the most important, you practice the meditation at the same time. If these are very strong, you have to go to the psychologist or psychotherapist. It's really good. And because they can support from the bodily level, especially the mundane level, and the meditation from the spiritual level. And when we work from both sides together, the mind and body, that really helps. Then slowly, if the meditation becomes stronger, and also physical exercise, aerobic exercise, these are really good. Then slowly you can let go of the medication. So we have to use a lot of different support.
Thank you, Rinpoche. The next one. Dear Rinpoche, how can we change the perspective of our mind when we became overwhelmed with negative emotions such as sorrow, grief, and hopelessness?
So at the beginning, we need to change the direction of our mind. So in the book, I mentioned about the breathing meditation or sound meditation or visual object of meditation. So when we have this strong emotion, we listen to the sound, or you can have nice music, maybe music with the natural music, without meaning, verbal meaning. Just listen awareness of that, or visual object, a flower or something. And together with the physical exercise, also good. Movement with the body, mind and body walks together at the beginning. That's really good. And then slowly, you can use, like for me, I use my panic as support for my meditation. So you can use this overwhelm emotion as support for meditation. But of course, at the beginning, sometimes when you look at the emotion when we look at the emotion, then emotion becomes stronger. So we need to have 4 steps to be with that emotion and try something different. Emotion becomes stronger, go back to sound or breath or visual object meditation. And then what we call step back and then take a break. So you have to do different practice with that. And it's not easy that suddenly it will go away. Like for me, panic, I had panic when I was around 8. Then it took me 5 years to fully make friends with the panic. But although I'm very lazy also, I love the idea of meditation, but I don't like the practice of meditation.
Another question coming from the chat on YouTube. We have almost 400 people watching you right now. And the question is, Dear Rinpoche, could you please talk about how people that don't have connection with meditation can transform their mind?
So then we have to work with another, what we call the belief and the behavior level. So belief level is we analyze, and we might have the kind of wrong belief, and we change our perspective. So scientists call mindset. So nowadays there's a lot of research about the mindset. So if you have positive mindset, you can study better. You can become more successful. You can change into a mindset for your personal development, for your peace and connection with your friends and family, develop relationship and education, study, good for health. So what in the meditative tradition, what we call view. View is what we see about the world. So normally we have step 3 together: view, meditation, and the application, meaning apply, get experience in our life. So these 3 together. So if meditation is difficult, maybe we can work on the view, the belief. And another behavior level, so we can try to reinforce that our normal habit to change to another habit, so that we can do many different ways to help our behave without learning meditation too. So these 2 are we can look at.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Another question. Dear Rinpoche, one of your instructions for meditation in absolute bodhicitta is to reflect on how everything is impermanent, interdependent, and multiple. I have some insights when contemplating the impermanence and interdependence of phenomena, but I find it difficult to contemplate the multiplicity of things. Could you please bring examples and ways to contemplating the multiplicity of phenomena?
Multiplicity meaning many things together. So let's say a table. Table has 4 legs on the top, and the table has color, shape, and table has atoms. And even atom has subatomic particles: proton, neutron, electron, and each one of there's another one. So single is impossible actually. Always composed by many different things, like body, head, arms, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, then organs, bones, flesh, nerves, blood, so many things together. Single cannot have body. So that's it, the multiplicity. And anything what you see always has many compound together. So therefore, what we call aggregates, many together. Single is impossible. So for the absolute bodhicitta, the first step is we see everything is changing and so many pieces together. And these pieces are interdependent, help each other. For example, in order to grow a vegetable, soil, water, sunlight, oxygen, space, fertilizer, and main important seed, no obstacle, length of time, all this necessary together, one impossible. And this multiplicity, many pieces, help each other, interdependent. Then a change has to change, impermanence, meaning time, changing. Then the vegetable comes, grow. So that is how it works. The law of the universe is interdependent, impermanent, changing, and this changing depend on this small sub pieces together. So that's first step of the ultimate bodhicitta. But then eventually we cannot find a single. Even single is not exist, it's emptiness. It's not nothing, but it's not exist. So mind go beyond concept, and then there is clarity, boundless love and compassion, awareness, yet cannot grab. So that is the ultimate bodhicitta. So, and that is nature of you and nature of all phenomena, all beings, but all beings are not recognized, and we create self, other, subject, object, suffering. So wishing to liberate them become union of relative and absolute bodhicitta.
Thank you, Rinpoche. There's a question coming from one of the meditation groups here in Brazil. That is, how do we use meditation when we are facing violence?
So when we are facing violence, and this is the physical or social environmental problems, sometimes if we can avoid that, we can change that, we should. Sometimes we are in the middle of that, we cannot change right away. So we cannot always control the situation. We cannot always control the environment. We cannot always control the social matters. But what we can control is always our own mind. So when we are having this violence, who's in your hand is our mind. So make our mind calm, peaceful, connected with awareness, connected with loving kindness, compassion. Then we can deal with the situation better. We can see situation clear, environmental, social, whatever. Then we will not react through our impulses like hatred right away, or ignorant, or out of fear, panic. So we can see the situation more clear, then wisdom comes. So then it is a better to manage the situation, the violence, to avoid the violence, or to whatever we can do is much better than normal. Yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Now there's a very classic questions in all our your talks and teachings. Dear Rinpoche, what is the difference between non-meditation and resting in open awareness meditation?
So all the meditations, what we are in the book, is what we call non-meditation, meaning you are being with as they are. So you are not particularly creating something. For example, if you are creating artificial peace, something peaceful that your mind imagining some kind of like happiness, and that is the artificial. So some meditation techniques look for peace, calm, or some they absolutely block everything. Your mind become empty mind, empty brain, no thought, no emotion. It's also creating artificial. So these are the creating. So we don't need this. For us, totally natural. Be with whatever comes in our mind, be with that. So therefore, what I call non-meditation, we don't have to meditate actually, we just be. So actually, all these practices are non-meditation. Special open awareness meditation is very clear non-meditation practice.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Another question here. Dear Rinpoche, when I have a bad day, I get a lot more thoughts than usual during meditation, and that makes it harder to get relaxed. Any recommendations? Thank you.
That's normal, of course. We have good days and bad days. Life is like wave of the ocean. Life is like stock market, go up and down. And what we can do, accept it. But accept and let it go, but letting go is not giving up. Don't try to give up. Continue to learn from this bad experience, a lot of thought, grow from that. So don't give up. With the patience, but you have to practice persistently, with the kind to yourself. Don't scold yourself, be patient, but don't give up. Continue practice all the techniques in the book. Yeah.
Thank you. This is another classic of the questions. How can I make my laziness go away so I can start to meditate more frequently?
Feel the laziness, when you feel lazy, be with the lazy. Practice lazy meditation. Like you can be with the panic and you don't have to block panic, right? So now you can be with the lazy, but when you be with the lazy, you are meditating with the lazy, and you can continue to be lazy. Good, no? So I'm just half joking, but in a way, yeah, you can do that. And another, this for the meditation level. But another thing is the behavioral level. There's two things: meditation level and behavioral level. For the meditation level, everything can be support for your meditation. You don't have to block them. You liberate them. But of course, from the behavioral level, we cannot do that at the beginning. So what we need, we have to manage our behavioral level. So to change this lazy, we have to develop some kind of a habit, new habit. So habit of meditation maybe, and that will take up to 21 to 30 days to begin the new habit. So if you tell yourself, every day I want to meditate half hour, then do that for 1 month. If you can practice every day half hour for 1 month, then you already have new habit. Then after that, become more easy. So then lazy will not come.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Dear Rinpoche, sometimes focusing on my breath causes me anxiety and makes me breathe even faster. How can I navigate this anxiety?
Yeah, if that case, then don't practice breathing meditation. You can have another choice. You can practice sound meditation. You can do mental recitation. You can do meditation with the object. So there's a lot of techniques in my book. So you can learn from those. So then eventually you can work with anxiety, with the breath.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Dear Rinpoche, how do I stop my mind from going into rumination and stop creating problems for myself through meditation?
So we need our meditation short time, anytime. So sometimes we think we are meditating, then we lost. We don't know when we lost in rumination. So you come back to meditation again. So short time, you can even count. When you forget, you count. Number 1, number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you remember, if you catch yourself that you're lost, the moment of you know you're lost, that means you come back actually. You're connected with awareness. So if you catch in 1 hour, 30 times, wonderful, right? Because at the beginning, concentration not too long, few seconds. We ruminate, we lost. Then we come back, when we know we lost, we have awareness. So that is the general advice. But if you are particularly talking about not wanting to rumination, then maybe you can look at my book. And also we have course, Joy of Living. Even actually, the rumination can be support for meditation. You can watch the rumination, just like watching the breath. Then you don't need to block the rumination, but the rumination becomes support for meditation. So what we call thought meditation.
Thank you, Rinpoche. We are at the top of the hour. I think we have time for one more question, right?
Okay.
Dear Rinpoche, how can we meditate when we are having a panic attack?
So that is you have to read my book again and again. So how to practice? So first step is maybe breathing meditation or sound meditation or mental recitation. So one of those meditation techniques, you have to get familiar with it. If you are new to meditation, about 1 month, then slowly, you can feel your body and special feeling, sensation in the body. So panic is normally a lot of sensation. Be with that. Then there's 4 techniques, which I mentioned before. Watch, try something different, step back, take a break. And then eventually panic become your friend. Thank you. So thank you very much for all of you and to make this event, and thank you for the publisher. And hopefully we will see you in person soon.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for these precious teachings, and I hope we can do this once again very soon. Thank you. Bom, muito obrigada a todos, né? Que agora estamos aqui no final do nosso evento e espero que todos gostaram. E para aqueles que têm interesse de aprofundar mais no tema, né, o Mingyur Rinpoche vai estar ministrando vários cursos online ao longo desse ano, tanto para iniciantes como também para praticantes avançados, com tradução simultânea para o português. Então, basta enviar um e-mail para Tergar Brasil, com S, @tergar.org, para mais informações e condições exclusivas para a nossa comunidade. Também queria falar que teremos agora no mês de junho o curso Alegria de Viver nível 1, 100% em português. Então, fiquem atentos para aqueles que queiram participar, a gente vai estar informando mais informações em breve. Então, muito obrigada para todos, obrigada, Luiz, obrigada para o Bruno, que fez as traduções. Thank you, Rinpoche, and see you very soon.
Thank you.
Obrigada.
Thank you, Yaping. Thank you, all of you. See you soon.
Isso.
That's the book.
Yeah, that's the book, and I recommend everybody to buy it. It's a wonderful book. It's for beginners, but it's also for advanced meditators. It's a very precious book, and we are very happy to have it available again in Brazil. And we thank the editor for bringing it to us also. Thank you, Rinpoche.
O livro, Luiz, você pode falar, ela está já à venda online, né? Já está disponível online.
Já está disponível online pelo site da editora, lucidaletra.com.br. Custa R$ 59,90 e está com frete grátis. Então, vamos... Todos aqueles que não têm e não tinham como achar, e aqueles que já têm, que querem uma nova edição. Essa aqui, inclusive, vem com um prefácio do instrutor Tim Olmsted, especialmente para a edição brasileira. Muito bacana.
Bom, muito obrigada e bom final de semana a todos.